It's Andy here from Andy's World Journeys. And where do you find me today? Well, I'm back in the centre of Melbourne and I'm in a place right at this very second called the Carlton Gardens, which are not too bad on the whole. And you'll see this building up ahead there. That's some sort of exhibition centre which has been here for quite a while. But that's not why I'm out and about today. I'm mask free because outside we don't have to wear masks now. On this glorious mid-30s summer day, I'm going to check out the Melbourne Museum. FYI, Melbourne Museum's a pretty decent museum actually, and if you are visiting Melbourne, it might be worth your time thinking about having a look. So, without further ado, Pashley, cello, vamos a ver, let's go. Here we are, this is the building. It's a nice modern building behind this interesting architectural piece that we just walked past. For reference, there it is. So it's very close. We've also got the IMAX theatre just over there. I don't know what their capacity is at the moment, but I think they're open. Anyway, we'll see how things are going. I think Melbourne Museum only opened up. Today is the 27th of November. Yes. So I think the Melbourne Museum maybe opened up only a week or so ago, maximum of 2 weeks. So I don't know. They've got limited numbers, so I pre-booked to avoid disappointment. So I don't know what the capacity will be. I will have to wear a mask once I'm inside. Anyway. Hi folks, I'm in. We'll see how long this takes, but they give you 90 minutes at the moment, which I guess might not be considered a very long visit to a museum. But anyway, we're just going to go and have a little walk around, and I'll show you what there is to see in the Melbourne Museum. Okay folks, we're going to start off with the First Peoples exhibit, which of course refers to the Indigenous Australians, the first Australians, and in particular those in the Melbourne region and Victoria. We've got here is a rough approximation of Victoria, and you'll find this gives you an idea of where all the different peoples come from, the Indigenous peoples of this state.
I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bonnet. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Over here, this man, next to his football Guernsey, his name's Nicky Winmar, played for the St Kilda and Western Bulldogs football clubs. This is a famous image when he was playing at an away ground in Collingwood, and he was copping an abusive racist, a tirade of racist abuse, I should say, from the crowd, and he stood up proud and showed off the colour of his skin. A more recent part of the Indigenous history here. Any thoughts, Con?
Yeah, that's right. I'm bloody well here at the Melbourne Museum. We're going to go and see the Melbourne Gallery.
Well, not right now. First of all, we're kind of closer over here to the Science and Life Gallery, so I thought,
Bloody Melbourne. I want to go to Melbourne.
over here we have the skeletal remains of a blue whale.
Bloody hell, that's bloody big. I don't know about you, but I'm having a whale of a time.
Okay, piss off, Con. I do the puns. As an adult, your tastes get a bit different, I guess, when you go to museums and stuff. But as a kid, there was nothing more exciting than seeing the skeletal remains, which were usually actually just mock-ups of the dinosaurs. Holy crap. Have a look at this, chaps. That there is a T-Rex. One of the fiercest creatures that ever roamed the earth. And look at that, we're looking up some brontosaurus's butthole. Or are we? No, we weren't. We were looking through his chest cavity. Now that's a reasonably large sized squid. Think of all the calamari rings you could get out of that thing, eh?
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little bit crabby.
Now, this is a great section for the kids. This whole science and life, and just now I'm entering the insect section. Check out all these creepy crawlies.
Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat. You'll be a fan when I start rapping. Way I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious. Release bombs and go tick tick. Boom, you blow me that head missing. I'm a phenomenon. Stacking cheese like it's Parmesan. 8 different flows, call me Octomom. I'm moving fast like the Autobahn. And I'm independent, so I'm not your fucking starving like it's Ramadan. Sick, twisted.
Of course, there's something not quite right about all these insects. I'm not sure what it is. Can't quite put my finger on it, but something's bugging me. I think somebody dissected a giant fly. Why would you do that? And of course, Australia is famous for spiders. What do they say? I could be wrong, but Australia has 8 of the 10 world's most deadly spiders. These ones are huge, but I've never seen any of them like that in real life. Ooh. There are more. Check out these little beauties. So where are the deadly Australian spiders? So here we have a funnel web spider, and they are, well, there's different versions of them depending on which one you have. Some of the most deadly spiders in the world. In Victoria, I don't know that we have deadly funnel webs, except maybe in northern Victoria. But around the Sydney area, funnel webs are bad, bad news. As it says, make peace with your God if you're bitten by one and go to a hospital. This here is the huntsman. This is a common spider in Melbourne, in suburban Melbourne, but they're not actually deadly, but they can be bigger than, a lot bigger than that, and they can be a little scary. The question we've all been wondering, how do bugs taste? Personally, I haven't been wondering and I don't want to know. That was spiders and bugs for you. They didn't mention that I could see, and I may have missed it, the redback spider, and that is one you want to be really careful of if you're in Melbourne or Victoria, because they can pack quite a bite there. But also keep in mind that almost nobody dies of spider bites these days. There's heaps of anti-venom in the hospitals and stuff, and it's all very, very, very rare. So here we are at the Melbourne Gallery, where we're going to learn a little bit about the history of the town of Brisbane. That's not right.
Yeah, bloody Burke. It's bloody Melbourne. You knew that. You think you're freaking funny.
Piss off.
Yeah, I will. See you later.
After all that, he was so keen to come here. Let's see. Over here, we have, I'm not sure exactly, let's just call it a replica and hope that it is. It could be the original stuffed horse. The most famous Australian racehorse of all time, Farlap. We're talking nearly 80, 90 years ago now that this fella raced and won the Melbourne Cup many times. Was apparently bigger than any other horse. He was unstoppable until he went to America and they stopped him by poisoning him. So yeah, but there he is behind me. And to the identity of Melbourne, he's a major player, I guess you could say. And very fondly remembered. I mean, personally, I'm not into horse racing, but if you were, then in all of Australia, not just Melbourne, Farlap is the dude. Oh my God, I just spoiled the illusion for you. Have a look at some ye olde Melbourne scenes for you. The old trams going up and down in the centre of town. Oh, and then we're getting a bit more like today. And then this one's probably in the 1960s, I'd say. That's Collins Street up into the State Parliament building there. Actually, they both are. This one looks slightly older. I love seeing how things used to look. So what we've got here is an interactive map that shows the growth of the city of Melbourne around Port Phillip Bay. Let's say you got your Port Phillip Bay there in the middle. And right up about there, that's where the centre of town is, as they add more and more suburbs and people. You can even watch the population as it's growing. Let's see how far that goes, hey? We're over 4 million. Pushing up there. 2016, 2017, 4.2, 2018, 4.3. That is what I call a nugget of gold, found in 1858. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's a replica and not the real thing. Because why would you hold it here anyway? And of course they used to get around from Melbourne to Bendigo in the old Cobb & Co. Royal Mail coaches. You know what? They don't look that comfortable to me. Nothing was more to the advancement of society than installing good systems and lavatories. Telephones. Honestly, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I actually really like old stuff. And this stuff is like, it's not mega old. It's like 150 years old, even less, 100 years old. And I find it really, really interesting. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. I just do. So this old recreated house is closed at the moment, probably too enclosed. And anyway, so recreated from a place in Melbourne called Little Lon, not far from Lonsdale Street, where the darker side of town might have resided, or, you know, sheltered if need be. This is it, the first iPod. They've got a little cinema here. You see below us, showing films of Dad and Dave, who, let me see, 1920s, 30s, 40s. So we're talking about sort of the really early years of Australian cinema. And you can sit down here and watch some old classics to your heart's content.
Good evening, Father. What do you know of modern arrestation? You're staring back at me. Why won't you? Something. Think of something that's taking right off. What, after all my trouble? What happened? Big galoot, it was you trying to murder me.
This here is a little carriage from the Sydney Railway at Luna Park in St Kilda. It's a very iconic, famous part of the city. And who knows, I might head down to Luna Park because it is still open to this day. Who knows, I might just head down there and show you that one day. What do we got over here? So this is one of the high-rise estates in Melbourne, but, you know, comparatively, Melbourne does not have a lot of high-rise. Here we go, here's a picture of the Westgate Bridge, probably shortly after it was opened, or at least before 1980. And you can see that the city is growing, especially over here. This is the west side here. But there's lots of videos available also in this section. You can watch old TV programs on what looks like an old TV. Anyway, folks, one last little thing I'd like to show you before I conclude. And what you see behind me is the Forest Gallery, where they've got a little bit of a rainforest in the middle of the museum, which you can walk all the way around. It's very pretty, as you can see. Rainforest obviously is makes up a non-insignificant portion of Australia's wilderness, and it's extremely beautiful. And so, sadly, again, we've come to the end of another vlog, and it's goodbye from me. Well, it's goodbye from me. Oh. I apologise for the koala. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, having a little look around the Melbourne Museum. I think you'll agree, it's not a bad museum, and I really enjoyed the Melbourne stuff. It cost $15 Australian, so was that $12, $11 US for entry for adult. At the moment it's timed entry, but you know, once this whole thing's over, it probably won't be anymore. I mean, I'm sure it won't be anymore. I really, you know, if you're in Melbourne, I think the kids will love it too. There's plenty of stuff for the kids, but if you're a lover of cities and their development, then I think the Melbourne section is great too. Science, you can learn a bit about the Indigenous people of Victoria, and there are a couple other galleries that I didn't feature today, which are also really interesting too. One specifically is called a learning centre. Again, spoiling the illusion. A learning centre is for the kids. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time, and I hope you found a little bit more of Melbourne revealed today. May the journey never end.